Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from a deleted user and it says, me, 32 male, with my wife, 31 female of 5 years, could be getting divorced over an aquarium. Throwaway account for personal reasons. To start off, my wife and I have been together for 5 years, and things were going pretty great, until recent events. We met during speed dating and both quickly took a liking to each other. We both have great jobs and plan on having kids pretty soon, maybe within the next 2 to 3 years. Also, we don't disagree on many things and rarely argue. Sometimes, of course. So, my wife and I just bought a house in Florida. And she's crazy about anything aquatic. I'm talking whales, fish, lobsters. She just loves all things of the sea. One of the first things she told me about herself on our first official date was that she loved the seals. I'm not quite sure what this was supposed to mean. Was it some type of save the seals slogan you might hear for pandas? Anyway, that didn't really strike me as too odd since I'm an animal lover myself. In our first apartment, we had a quaint fish tank that housed around 10 fish. But she always wanted more fish in that damn tank. I said, look, we can't have any more fish in that tank. They need their space. She agreed, and the issue has not been brought up since. Until now. As I said above, we just recently bought a house in Florida. One of the most striking features that we love about it is the giant pool. It isn't the greatest looking pool, but it is definitely large. One of the first things she mentions after we purchased the place is, how cool would it be to have our own aquarium? I go on to tell her that it's not a wise idea for us to have an aquarium, for various reasons. It did not seem to make her extremely angry, but I could tell that she was a bit annoyed and frustrated about the whole ordeal. A few days later, she brings it up to me again, except this time she had a legitimate plan all written out. I was taken aback. She used Word to type up a detailed plan on how we could get this aquarium to work, bullet points and all. It went over the costs, the types of aquatic creatures we would house in the aquarium, what type of contractors and licenses we'd need to pull it off. The craziest part? She wants to use the pool. I told her that I thought it was really sweet that her love for aquatic creatures has given her the idea to have our own aquarium in our pool, but wasn't willing to spend nearly $20,000 to do so, nor would I do it regardless of the cost. The most fucked up part is that she wants sharks in a separate pool that we would have to build. Why the hell would anyone want giant sharks in their backyard? She told me that this is one of her dreams ever since we had met, that we would own a pool and start up some type of backyard aquarium bullshit. Her first sign was apparently, you said you loved seals too. So now that I'm thinking in my head that I married somebody so that they could have a potential aquarium partner. She has now gone as far as saying that she will leave me if I don't agree to this. I don't even know what to do at this point. She claims that I am crushing her dreams. I'm just so confused about all of this. We've been great for 5, going on 6 years, and she wants to leave me because I won't agree to having an aquarium and building a separate pool for sharks. Is it even wise to try and work this out anymore? I feel like I am being put into a corner right now and cannot do anything about it. She won't even pick up my phone calls. Should I cave and build the aquarium? I need your help, Reddit. That is absolute madness. Like, we're not talking about just wanting a bigger fish tank or, a koi carp pond or anything like that. She wants to convert a pool into an aquarium and build a separate shark pool. I mean, just thinking of the logistics around that, the legality as well, and the ethics behind it, it's just absolutely mad. But I think we all really know the ultimatum is the real problem, and she's threatening divorce over this. There is absolutely no way I would cave in this situation. That she's willing to blow up your whole marriage over something this extreme? Absolute madness. So there was a commenter on this one talking about it being animal abuse, and Opie said, that's a pretty good comparison. And what you said about animal abuse is one of the many reasons I told her this was not going to work. It's one of the reasons I'm having such a hard time grasping this. If she loves these beings so much, why would she want to go about abusing them in that manner? I actually brought this up to her and she said, I can't believe you don't think I'd properly care for them. After that, nothing has been said on that specific reason. Commenter says, 1. Backyard Sharks would be a great band name. 2. She is bananas. You can try to negotiate an aquarium plan which isn't ridiculous. You can get her to talk to marine professionals about the logistics of her plan so she sees how it won't work. Honestly, if she's threatening to leave you because you don't want a swimming pool full of sharks, I don't think anyone would blame you for taking her up on that offer. 3. We're all joking around about how insane this plan is because it's pretty hilariously insane. But on a serious note, how is her mental health? Because the only people I've known who have said anything on the level of let's fill our pool with sharks have been people who genuinely have serious mental health conditions. This sounds like at the very least an obsession. Could you encourage her to see a professional? You might need to do it under the guise of suggesting individual therapy alongside marriage counseling. That she has always loved fish but never made a suggestion on this scale before may indicate some sort of recent change in her thinking. And to be honest, I feel like the fact that she thinks this is reasonable and realistic is bordering on delusion. Trickster says, first off, you can't build a freaking aquarium in your freaking backyard. The zoning laws alone would be a nightmare. She may have a plan, but is she a marine biologist who will know how to keep the pH levels, salt levels, the basic mechanics of what chemicals are safe for the animals? What's she going to do? Keep sharks? Even tiny sharks will eat all the other fish, and they need dark because that's where they live. Secondly, there are shows dedicated to showing what goes into building one of these massive projects. They are usually done for companies that have some money to burn. Go watch any episode of Tanked on Animal Planet and you'll get an idea. Third, I knew a family that invested in an indoor aquarium, one that took up a wall. In their basement, they had tanks, repeat tanks to recycle the water. It was beautiful. But holy hell, was it expensive. Fourth, do not give in to a crazy dream. There are people who business in fish, who love fish, but know their limits when it comes to taking care of them. A divorce or couples counseling would be a combination cheaper than the insanity she is proposing. Another commenter says, is no one going to say that OP's wife may be mentally ill? This is not a normal request. It's fucking bananas. Commenter replies saying, I'm a psychiatrist and I was thinking she is either mentally ill or just really not very bright. Another commenter says, I can see the headlines now. Florida man killed in backyard, shark attack. So OP does come in with an update and says, hello again everyone. Thank you so much for all your responses. I never would have thought that I would receive so much good advice from all of you over such a weird issue. So things are a little better now. I guess not really, as I left a voicemail saying that there could be some way for us to make a compromise. Something that would not be harming these beings, a proper way to care for them. It seems that now she is suddenly open to the idea of doing this, after 2 whole days of not speaking to me. Reddit, you will love her reasoning for this. She has legitimately told me that she wanted to test how far I would go for us. I'm very curious why she would propose such a fantastical and cruel idea to see if I would simply do it. I admit, for a good portion of our marriage, I've been a classic pushover, bending to her will on things I would rather not do if it was truly up to me. I feel like somewhere along the way, my opinions and reasoning has lost value in her eyes, and has lost value in my own eyes. This is just something that I could not allow, and I think it royally pissed her off simply because I would not do it. Basically, she would have let this happen if I would have been willing to, but she made it sound more crazy to see how far I would take it to help her live her dream. I think I lost myself Reddit. This feels even worse than her not speaking to me for 2 days over this whole bizarre ordeal. A lot of you said that she is nuts. I'm starting to believe it after this shit. I'm not quite sure I should be with someone that is willing to test me over something that would cause great harm to other living things, just to see if I would go through with it. I feel like I've been manipulated this whole time, like it's some sham marriage or something, so she could live a lavish dream. I don't really know what to do at this point. We sure as hell aren't going to build an aquarium. I'm leaning towards telling her to go get counseling, or us getting counseling together, or just trying to settle this in a civil manner, because I don't feel like being tested again. I feel that it would surely happen again. I actually have no doubt in my mind knowing how manipulative people continue this behavior. Thank you again everyone from the bottom of my heart. Maybe I will post an update if you want in a few days. Then OP added a small update after this one and says, My wife and I have talked heavily about it since I posted this update, and she has decided to go to counseling. Lately she says she's been having growing obsessions for things, almost this type of level, but has been bottling it up inside. She took me not agreeing with this as a personal attack against her. She has also not really felt like herself lately, and I have taken notice of that. Apparently she's been trying to self-diagnose by reading online, which I've heard is not a good way to go about mental health. The job is extremely stressful and taxing, and this seems to have been some type of outlet. No agreement has been reached on an alternative to the Aquarium. I'm starting to doubt she even wanted this whole thing to go through to begin with. It's worrisome. I'm not really sure if my wife is in her right mind at the moment, because this is such extreme behavior and she has never acted like this. I do love her greatly though, and will support her 100% through counseling. I do feel bad about all of this in a way, like I should have noticed something was going on, but I truly did not see this coming. We both live extremely busy lives, which is not an excuse, but I feel is a contributing factor to my possible negligence. Gee bloody whiz, and just loads of people talking about the mental health side of things on this one, saying, you know, she does need some kind of help, but also feeling sorry for Opie at the same time, and people saying that they probably wouldn't be able to move on from this themselves, being tested like that. Gee bloody whiz, sharks in the pool, man. I mean, where do you even get a shark? It was just painting this mental image in my mind of Opie's wife on the phone to someone just saying, oh yeah, just deliver it round the back in the pool, drop it in there. Bloody hell. But what do you guys make of this situation? Would you be able to move past this? Do you think it is mental health issues going on there? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Friend Conflict 54 and says, my 20 female friend, 21 female, is going to great lengths to prove that my boyfriend, 24 male, is cheating, even though I know he isn't. So, I live with Emily, a person I met a couple of years ago. We became fast friends, admittedly moved in together last year out of convenience, but stayed true to our friendship, which has definitely strengthened. My boyfriend is Sam, someone I met about a year and a half ago. We've been dating for just over a year, with our relationship transitioning into a long-distance relationship about 5 months ago because Sam moved for work. I never thought that there were any issues between Emily and Sam. In our early stages, she was very gracious and seemed to know the perfect balance between socializing with Sam and giving us space. It was only when Sam moved away that she started making little comments about how funny it would be if Sam had a side chick in his new city, or that I was actually a side chick and he's gone home to his family. There is no way this is true. Sam has always been honest and open, has always mentioned that he quickly shuts girls down if they tried on with him. And as for the family thing, I helped him move into his small 2-room apartment and not a family home. I've always shut this down very quickly whenever Emily starts on with it. However, recently, she's been taking extra steps to try and make me believe that my boyfriend is cheating on me. She told me over dinner the other day that she had proof that Sam had slid into DMs of one of her friends, and showed me a screenshot of Sam's secret Twitter account hitting on her friend about 9 months ago. This account was not Sam's username at all, and just in case it had been a secret account, I searched the username and it came up with a profile of a 15-year-old boy also called Sam. So I told Emily this. She was insisting that this profile was my Sam, and that he was clearly catfishing using this kid, or that he was Sam's younger brother. Sam has no younger siblings. Last night she sent me an SOS message saying that there was an emergency, but after rushing home to see what was happening, she said that the emergency was that Sam doesn't have his Facebook relationship on his profile, and that it was obvious he's trying to appear single. The reason his relationship isn't public is because I asked for it not to be, since I don't believe that my relationship status is everyone's business. We're in a relationship on Facebook, but only privately. Yet again, I explained this to Emily, and she tried to argue that he could still be cheating, and that I was subconsciously manipulated to keep the status private by him. I really wasn't. I'll clarify here that I've never said to Emily that I think Sam will cheat on me in his new city, because I don't. Simple enough. It may have been that she was jealous or wanted him for herself, but she's in a relationship of her own. Her boyfriend of 2 years is over usually 2 to 3 nights a week. I'm definitely going to put her on an information diet regarding my relationship, but should I consider going further? So Kissed by Fire says to the OP, is there a possibility that your friend is jealous of your relationship with Sam? I encountered a nearly identical situation with my roommate / close friend last year when my boyfriend proposed. He was in the Navy at the time and on Christmas leave, stayed at our apartment and asked me to marry him. At first my friend was quite happy for me, but a few weeks later her own boyfriend randomly broke up with her. Around this time my fiancé, who was working on going sober, relapsed and got wasted one night. My friend used my fiancé's relapse as an excuse to try and convince me to break up with him. She was determined to show me that because my fiancé relapsed, he was an unreliable guy who didn't deserve me. Realistically, my friend was just bitter that our own relationship had recently ended. She wanted someone to wallow in her misery with her. I called her out on it and she backed off, which was good because quite honestly, she was acting ridiculous and obsessing over my relationship. Opie says she could be jealous, but she's very happy with her boyfriend, unless she isn't and she's been very good at hiding it from everyone including her boyfriend. Maybe she just wanted me to be her single friend. No Child says, is there a benefit for her if you're single? Like, do you bring Sam over to your place a lot, or are you planning on moving in soon with him away from her? Has she ever been cheated on in a similar situation? Lock your room and watch your phone. It shouldn't be, but that's how she'll get information if you stop telling her about you and Sam. Do tell her that you're no longer going to respond to her emergencies and put her on mute when possible. Then you only get upset when you're no longer busy. Commodore says, in quotes, like, do you bring Sam over to your place a lot? And then says, this seems unlikely as this behavior only started after Sam moved to another place and was no longer coming over frequently since their long distance relationship. Opie replied saying, Sam and I are in a long distance relationship and so far he's been over for 2 weekends in 5 months. So she couldn't claim she's annoyed at his presence, especially when her boyfriend can spend half a week at our place. We're also not planning on moving in together anytime soon, since I have a solid life here. To the best of my knowledge, she has never been cheated on, nor has she been in a long distance relationship. So all of her beliefs about Sam cheating on me, because we're in one, are built on tales from others. One more commenter who says, she sounds a bit unstable and drama queenie to be honest. This is a case of has crazy theory, tries to get the facts to fit. It doesn't really matter what her motive is. Tell her bluntly that you feel she's trying to ruin your relationship and that if she doesn't stop, the friendship will be over. So, Opie did come in to update this post and said it was a final update, which said, so I posted a few days ago about my housemate Emily, who had made it a life's mission to try and make me see that my long distance boyfriend, Sam, was cheating on me. After posting my original post, I sat Emily down and told her that I would not be engaging in conversation with her about Sam at all. She tried to claim that it was in my best interest to listen to her, but did rein it in. Drama over. Until it all blew up. I got a very angry message yesterday from Emily's boyfriend calling me every name under the sun, including a homewrecker. I asked him what the hell was going on, and he said that he knew all about how I'd been cheating on Sam and how I'd convinced Emily to do the same to him. It turns out he found out that Emily was on Tinder and was talking to guys and had even met up with a couple and done whatever. I had no clue she was doing this. Whenever she left the house for the night, she always said she was staying at her boyfriend's. I told him in no uncertain terms that I had not encouraged Emily to cheat on him and I was not cheating on Sam. He then tried to claim that Emily had told him that I was away getting with some Tinder guy on a specific evening, that I wasn't in the flat. I was celebrating Sam's birthday with him in his city, and at the time then dated photos to prove it. And of course, Emily knew where I really was. I have no clue whether or not her boyfriend believes me, but I haven't had any other messages from him since. Emily was wailing my door about 10 minutes later, saying that her ex-boyfriend had gone insane and she only cheated because he was abusive. I can't say I saw anything, but I also can't say this was a definite lie. And she was scared about his reaction, so she said I was involved. She then said I would understand her position if I had broken up with Sam like she wanted me to. I'll admit, that got my attention. I asked what she meant, and she said that she wanted us both to be free from our partners. But she knew I wouldn't cheat on Sam, so had to try her best to convince me that he was cheating so I would leave him. She got the door slammed in her face. Even if she did want an escape from her own abusive relationship, her non-stop attempts to persuade me to leave my boyfriend just for her own gain is enough for me to just cut her off. I didn't even wait until Emily woke up this morning to put my plan to move out into action. The landlord has been contacted and is very understanding. We're very close to the end of our tenancy anyway. So I'm breaking my lease and I'm going to spend the night in a friend's spare room before making my next move. I might write her a goodbye note, but she hardly deserves it. I've been wondering for a while whether or not I should move to be with Sam. I think this is now going to be a big part of my decision. Also, a lot of comments in the original post were suggesting that something had happened between Sam and Emily while he was still living in this area, and she was trying to make me see that without coming clean. I didn't reply to any comments because I know the sort of responses I would have got to, I know he's not cheated on me with Emily, but I do know he didn't. He never contacted Emily privately, and he was really only friendly to her because she was my housemate. Sam was just as unlikely to cheat with Emily as I was with any of his friends, family or housemates. I know some of you may still think that he could still have cheated or cheat in the future, and I can't definitively say he didn't/won't, but I'm not going to ruin my relationship with what-if style thoughts. Top commenter on this one said, make sure to photograph the apartment so that you can protect yourself. Should Emily try to damage the apartment after you break your lease? While your landlord may provide your security deposit, Emily may try to sue you for damages incurred during your tenancy that prevent her from getting a security deposit. Another commenter says, the strangest thing about this is that even if you were cheating on Sam, how does that make it your fault that she cheated? Does she not have free will of her own? Like, she sees a friend cheat and instantly thinks that she has to as well. Emily did a great job of distracting her ex and directing his anger at you. Her ex is an idiot though, in my opinion, to even entertain the idea that it's your fault. Clearly they aren't very mature people. Good riddance. Edit to clarify my questions are rhetorical. I really just asked them to point out the absurdity of the situation. You can all stop explaining to me the concept of making excuses and shitty people not taking personal responsibility. And the last commenter says, I wouldn't even write her a note. She doesn't deserve it. She deserves to wake up and realize that there is no one there anymore and needs to realize that when you do stuff like this, people will leave you. What she did was insane. I'm happy that you finally found out what the hell was going on. Gee bloody whiz. A lot of people in the comments also mentioning the projection from Emily in this. But what do you guys make of this situation? Dearie me. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so, so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.